The boohoo effect here. Okay, Agent 19. It's already clear to all, at least to the ones that was around at that time, that you are now in defensive damage control lately with this whole ludicrous claim of yours and Monty's docs that I am Braden. But I think you are smart enough to realize by now that you and Monty has made a big mistake. But you refuse to admit that you and Monty are wrong. Why? Because for one, it will hurt your pride. It will hurt your ego, and it will discredit your online persona that you are this secret great detective, the role that you like to play here on YouTube for at least a year straight. Secondly, it will also discredit everything that you have claimed as far as you and Monty driving this smiley cyber gang off. At least the main players that kept them thriving and alive, like the Schweitzers, the Bubba Effect, and 1010. Do you even know who the Schweitzers were, or 1010? I bet you'll claim that you do. But on the contrary, you see, what I witnessed about Monty was he was constantly sucking up to Mike as if he had some man crush or something of this nature. But that's beside the point. Third, you, Agent 19, are a confessed pathological liar that is completely unequipped, incapable of telling any truths. At least the truths that will go against you. Isn't that right? Does that sound about right? But since you still choose to keep up this little charade of what you and Monty started, I'm going to continue to rub your nose in it. You claim to know who 155mm is, right? But here's where you made yet another ill-thought-out, sloppy mistake, Agent 19. If you really knew who 155mm was, then you would have never have claimed that I am Braden. You know why? Because 155mm used to be close acquaintances with myself, UK Troll, and Braden. Now, let me ask you this, and really, think hard inside your mind. I don't expect you to express or spit out any truths, but think about this, Agent 19. What would you do if 155mm caught wind of your claim, and he also informed you that myself and Braden are two very different individuals? Would you also claim him to be a liar too? Would you? Is everyone to believe a pathological liar like yourself over a landslide of direct evidence that I presented in your face lately that you choose to ignore? Is everyone to believe a pathological liar like yourself, Agent 19, over 3 people that knew who Braden was? Would this come off as credible to any unbiased onlooker? What do you think? Just for a second, take yourself out of your shoes, because we know that you being in your own shoes is incapable of telling anything that would go against yourself, that would discredit your name here online. And put yourself in the shoes of an innocent, unbiased onlooker. How would you think that would look, viewing all the evidence that was presented? People that's coming out and saying, hey, look, Braden and the Boohoo Effect are 2 very different people. How would you think that would look in your eyes? Do you even really know what you're doing at this point? This is really the question. Do you even know what you're doing? I don't think you do. You're almost reacting in survival mode. You seem like you're just surviving right now, Agent 19. You're not looking good at all. Again, as I said before, your weakness is your impulsive behavior, and it is shining clearly. No doubt by basing your claim off of someone else's guess that whispered the Braden name in your ear, or perhaps you're just terrible at maybe being a detective. Have you ever thought of that? Have you ever thought of getting a new role to play on YouTube? Because this one is not working out very well for you. I know when you originally came onto the scene, you were this unknown masked bandit that was the big savior for Von Hell. But really, which is it, Detective Agent 19? Did someone just whisper the Braid name in your ear? Or are you just a terrible detective? Huh? It's gotta be one or the other. You know, let me tell you, foolish behavior is following you closely. Your lack of abilities is the only way I can describe your so-called detective skills. And by you doxing me as Braden, it is also conclusive. It is also a clear demonstration that you and Monty get doxes wrong. That you and Monty stalk and troll innocent people. And you're still insisting that I am Braden Landon. You are stalking an innocent person. Do you understand that? You claim that by this picture of Greg the baker on a banner that's not doing anything, that's not saying anything, that I am stalking him. But at the same time, you're telling me that I'm Braden Landon. And you're making this claim against me and that claim against me and posting this video about me, all in Braden Landon's name. Now, does that make you a hypocrite? Does that make you a failure at your own game? I think you know the answer to that. But since you now claim for certain to know who 155mm is, then here's my challenge for you, Agent 19. I want you, right now, to explain what he was about. What was 155mm's issues with the Bubba effect? It's a long history of it. Name a few details. Explain the history of them both. Explain his specific role he played with us. Who was he at odds with? Who was 155mm's close friend that the Bubba effect was also stalking and harassing? What was his connection with myself? I already know, Agent 19, that you don't know the answers to any of these questions, because you would have never have doxed me as Braden if you really knew who 155mm was. It's really simple as that. You know what? You need to get some shame fast. You really do. It may help you a little bit in the future, but I won't be holding my breath. We'll see everybody in the next one.